All right. Thank you, everyone. It's time for the We Raise the Roof information session and launch. I am so glad that you are here this evening. And for those of you who will watch later, I hope that you will send your questions along to the email that will be shown at the very end. Thank you for coming. I'd like to introduce myself. I am Dr. E, and most people that are on this line probably already know me, but I want to make sure that you know why you landed here today and why I'm here today. And fate has brought us all into this room. So I am actually the current president of the National Association of Black Women in Construction. I've earned some construction management certifications from Columbia University. I've been in several accelerator programs, one of which was the Thrive Emerging Leaders Program with the Small Business Administration. I have been the education committee chairperson of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. I did that for about 4 years. This year, I passed it to someone else because I knew that I would not be able to do the job with full integrity and attention because I'm turning my attention to We Raise the Roof. I also completed the Urban Land Institute Ready program, which is the real estate development and diversity initiative with the Urban Land Institute in Central Florida. I drove back and forth or either took the train for 16 weeks to make sure that I got this knowledge because this is a passion and a purpose that I believe I am called to ensure that more people get into development so that they can develop their own neighborhoods and we don't allow outside developers to continue to come in, swipe all of the wealth that has been accumulated for decades, and also make the decisions for the direction of communities. So saying all that to say, and let me add a disclaimer. I was noticing on the Eventbrite that it was saying Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. This is not related to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. By me being the education chair previously, what happened was I created an event for the Chamber of Commerce probably like 2 years ago, and somehow this event got attached to that brand account. But this is not. This is We Raise the Roof as a program of evolution training and management solutions, which is my project management and training company. So this is a passion. It has been something that I've been working on and working toward for over a year, almost a year and a half now. And I took the time to get the certifications, to learn the information from the Urban Land Institute, and to continue to serve in leadership so that I could be prepared to lead a community and lead a movement for development across the nation. So that is who I am. I will also share my LinkedIn link with you so that you can connect with me, whether you become a part of this community or not, and continue to see the work that I am involved in, and you may want to even refer someone else. So let's get into the program, right? We Raise the Roof. A lot of you have read the pages that were created to share information, but I figured we may need a little more direct information and a chance for folks to ask questions because of course in my head it's clear this is what I'm doing, but everyone may not be as clear as I am just from reading. So I wanted you to be able to ask me questions and to be able to see and hear me explain verbally because everyone learns in different ways. So the question nobody asks, and that is, when do you get to build your own? You see your neighborhood being built. There are cranes all over Miami right now. There are cranes in every city I've visited. There's construction happening. When do you get to build your own? Please share in the chat if you've seen the development happening and you're like, how do I get my on ramp? Well, I hope that We Raise the Roof will be able to answer that question for you. Here's the $300,000 mistake. Just giving an example. A family sells their grandmother's house for $200,000. So great grandma maybe probably paid $10,000 for the house. She owned it, she had it, and she's ready to pass it on to her heirs. And folks just say, "Oh, great, I get a free $200,000." They sell it to a developer. And then the developer turns around, puts 50,000 in and sells the house for $500,000. All of that equity just went to a developer when the family or whomever actually inherited the house could have developed it on their own. There's so many opportunities being lost because generational wealth is being passed on to people who aren't in the generation. Okay, I guess that's the only way that I could put it. But all of those returns can stay in the community. Most of our communities, the dollar may circulate for about 2 hours before it's gone. We want to make sure that that dollar is circulating 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times before it leaves our community. And we don't want to continue to just have wealth bleeding out of the community through real estate. So, the reason that people tend to lose the opportunity of developing their own properties is because they don't understand what development actually is. Development is understanding the basic ideas between successful projects. You need to be able to assess, again, whether the project is viable and worth pursuing. Not every project is worth pursuing. Perhaps if grandma's house, the roof is falling off and there are 20 open permits and it's missing the windows, you might say, well, we'll just go ahead and let the developer have this one because I'm not ready to take on as big of a project. Or perhaps the zoning issues are too great. We're going to just go ahead and let this go. Or there's a piece of land that you've had your eye on, but in the state of Florida, it costs about $4,000 per endangered turtle to remove the turtles off the property. That might be why that land is still sitting there. So we want to be sure that every project is vetted to see if it's viable and worth pursuing. Then you have to execute plans by building the structures according to specifications. Create plans that meet the community needs and regulations. You have to secure funding and then stabilize, ensuring that the project operates efficiently and meets objectives. Feel free to ask questions in the chat, and the presentation is being shared. Dr. Cummings says she sees development all over the place, and Glennon says she wants to develop a tiny home community. Understanding the developer's role. So here's what I am setting out to have 100 people in the next 12 months become and to take on this role. Who's the developer? The developer is the risk taker. You take the risks to bring the projects to life. Developers are often misunderstood as knowing everything. You do not have to know everything to be a developer. You just have to be the person that coordinates everyone. And that's why I feel like people who manage projects in their day-to-day careers are perfect to be developers. Developers are collaborators. They assemble a team of professionals for success and can effectively manage schedules and timelines. Developers should, now this is not what they always do, but this is what We Raise the Roof is about, prioritize the community in the projects and not just build projects that might make lots of money, but displace all of the people that have been there for decades. Why do existing paths usually fail? So, this is not a novel concept to teach people development, right? There is a large cost to most programs. They require $30,000 to $50,000 up front. And I'm going to show you a comparison chart next. But also, there are lots of investing clubs. They focus on ownership, but not the development process. Guru courses cost thousands of dollars, but there's minimal engagement. They might just give you a document, check in with you 20 minutes, and then you're left to your own devices. And practicality. Nothing takes professionals from zero to the real community projects, or at least I haven't seen it. I've seen a lot of focus on how to get rich quick. So let's look at some of the alternatives that are out there that I see in Miami. Here's We Raise the Roof. Working professionals, real estate curious, community minded. The price point is $199. The barrier to entry is low. You're going to get a full process plus a certification. It's a cohort plus in-person events. So it's in on-demand education online, but also in-person events that will be arranged. Post-certification co-investment if you are ready and if you'd like. And then the core value is development without displacement. If you look at the University of Miami, has a master's degree in real estate development, but it costs about $30,000 to $50,000. It's a graduate level course. It's classroom based. Urban Land Institute, you have to be a member to be in their Leadership Institute. And then there is also a fee after you become a member. You have to apply and be accepted. There's also a group called the Black Real Estate Club. It's a subscription based program, but it's ownership and investing only. It's also digital only. There are no in-person events that are planned. And then lastly, Creole Miami. It's a grant program, but again, it's application based and it's all about collective ownership and not actually learning the development process. Don't forget to put your questions in the chat if you have any. I'm going to just keep going for now, but I'll make sure that I answer all of your questions. So how does We Raise the Roof answer all of those pain points? Participants gain knowledge before any discussions about investment begin. There will be a private wealth fund and group for We Raise the Roof graduates. Oh, that's a tongue twister. We Raise the Roof graduates, but it will only be open to graduates because we want everyone to be knowledgeable about development, not just ownership and seeking a profit. Each individual is going to earn a certification that'll be able to enhance your credentials. And this enables you to make informed decisions and not just see the wow and see a lot of glitter and say, oh my goodness, I see this person driving a Range Rover and they told me if I pay them $10,000, they'll teach me how to have one too. That is not what this is. This is about truly the on-ramp and foundational knowledge of development so that we can begin to formulate a movement that will have 100 at least co-developers across this nation that are seeking out projects that value development without displacement. How does it work? You're going to select a real property that resonates with you, whether it's a vacant lot or an existing building. And you're going to have that personal connection and commitment to the project. That happens in week 1. Then each module is going to build upon your chosen property so that you enhance your understanding and skills as you work through real life scenarios rather than theoretical case studies. You're going to pick that property and then we're going to work through as if you are ready to develop that property. Project-based learning. I think I don't think I mentioned that I was a teacher for 12 years. So everything that I do is truly based on adult learning theory and ensuring that you truly understand. I am a teacher first. I want to make sure that you not only have knowledge, but that you understand how to apply it. So here are the modules. There's 7 modules in total. Module 1, how deals really work. The second module goes to finding the opportunity. Module 3, the deal math. This is so important. You've got to know how to perform the math, because if you don't, you're going to lose money. And you do want to make money on the deal. Even though I would love to have people that are community focused, we also don't want anyone just giving away money and losing on projects. You need to understand how development gets funded. It's not usually out of your pocket. There are crowdfunding options. There are bank loan options, construction loan options. But your capital stack. You're going to learn all the options that are available to be able to make sure that these get funded. There are government programs that you'll learn about, and then you'll get to take your project and say, "This is how I would actually fund this project." And then module 5, ensuring that you understand zoning and working with the city. We don't want anybody building a great big beautiful home or a duplex or a 50 unit affordable housing, and it has to be torn down because it is not in a place that was zoned for it. So we cannot leave the city and the county out of this process. Next. Oh, I think we did. Module 5 is there, zoning and working with the city. But module 6, construction and delivery. We've got to make sure that we find the folks that actually can do the building, because again, you're not expected to know everything. No one's expecting you to be out there laying bricks and being an architect, being a general contractor, but you will learn how to work with the people that you will hire and assemble to be able to do that work. And then module 7, from certified to co-developer, going into more details about the options that you have after you've learned the development process. Maybe you become a developer. Perhaps you say, okay, well, I'm not going to be a developer, but I understand the process now, and I want to work with someone else on their projects. I want to work with the group on projects. We'll talk about all of those options. Then we'll meet up to fellowship and celebrate with an in-person graduation, where you will receive your certificate. This is not a solo course. At the graduation, you're going to present your deal book. So remember, you're going to you are going to choose a property, and then you're going to work through your deal book through the end in each module, and then you'll be able to present your ideas for how this project could actually work. And then we'll talk more about the co-investment path if you so desire. You meet your cohort in the live Zoom session. This is the info session, but the kickoff, where we will actually meet those who are in the cohort, will be next Sunday. We'll have an expert session live on Zoom, where a working developer will take your questions so that you're really hearing from an expert that has done development in Miami, and no sales pitch or anything like that, just them there to answer your additional questions you may have as you're working through your deal book. You're going to have a site tour also, where we will walk a real project and learn what goes into building it, so that you're not, again, just looking at theory and imagining. You'll be able to see in person and walk through and ask a developer there also questions about a particular project in real life. Plus, There's an online community that's going to be running the full 8 weeks where you have discussion boards. You can schedule time with me to ask questions if you're not understanding something. And we'll just continue to meet together as needed so that we're all ready. But you can take it at your own pace. And you have 16 weeks, even though it should really only take you 8 weeks. I understand that you are busy professionals and you might not be able to dedicate the 70 to 90 minutes that it would take for each week. And so you have 16 weeks access, but it should really take you only the 8 weeks to finish. What you'll leave with: a deal book, comprehensive document on your chosen property, understanding the full development process and the key roles. You'll have a circle of like-minded professionals, a verified certification, and role clarity. Who are you in the development process? Perhaps you are the head developer. Perhaps you are the person, maybe you're already an architect. Maybe you're already a GC and you're just used to receiving jobs and working them and not really looking at the development side of things. So you can see, where am I in this development process and what role do I really, really want to play? Development without displacement. Where is this coming from? We have to look at existing residents and their needs. This may not be something that's important to all, but it is important to We Raise the Roof, and it's what it's built on. Creating prosperity without displacing current community members as much as that is possible, and ensuring sustainable growth for all. I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm thinking I might be doing a good job of explaining here. All right, let's talk about who this is actually for. This is not for everyone, right? And I'm not trying to make it that it's something for everyone. It benefits people who already have project management skill set. If you are not someone that likes to take on projects, you're not a person that works well with collaborating with others, because as a developer, you're going to be making phone calls. You've got to do some scheduling. You got to know how to assemble a team. So it's great for project coordinators, construction professionals, entrepreneurs, nonprofit leaders, even real estate professionals. Many real estate agents and even brokers understand the real estate side of development, but not actually the full development process. Are you curious about real estate? And then those who are really ready to engage, you're going to have to engage folks. Who is not a fit? If you're just seeking a passive income stream, this is not for you. This is going to be a community and a movement. If you're not interested in development and you're like, no, I'm just interested only in the real estate selling side of things, for instance, this is not for you. If you want a quick fix without involvement, this is not for you. If you're not willing to contribute to your community growth, this is not for you. And if you're just not ready to take action, you're saying, no, this is not a good time for me, then this is not, again, for you. So I'm not trying to say, oh, yes, everyone come along. I'm being very upfront about what it takes to be a developer. So with that, do we have any questions? Let's see. I don't see any in the chat. Are you able to raise your hands? I think I'm going to allow you to unmute yourself if you would like to. And so you have the ability to unmute yourself. So I see Jessica's hand. All right. Go ahead, Jessica. You can unmute and ask your question.
Good evening, Dr. E. Thank you so much for the invitation and for this wonderful presentation. I love the theory and the mission behind the movement. I think that this is all fantastic. Thank you so much for putting this together and for driving those 16 hours to get all that certification and information.
Thank you. 16 weeks.
16 weeks. Yes,
Yes.
thank you so much. I just had a couple questions. So the first one was just around the certification. Like, I know you mentioned we're going to get some kind of certification and a certificate at the end. If you could elaborate on that, like, is that recognized anywhere in specific, or is it kind of just like a culmination of the projects? And then the second question has faded my mind, but it's going to come back.
Okay. So it's the latter that you just said. It's a brand new program, so it will be a certificate of completion. You will actually get a certificate through the platform. I'm going to also ensure that there are digital badges that are created. I'm going to ensure that there's a lot of marketing surrounding this, and I am actively seeking partnerships with municipalities and other CRAs and other entities and agencies that we would that hopefully this will be able to grow and it would be more widely recognized, but it really is a certificate of completion. It's a brand new program. This is the first cohort, but I believe that with the way that it is set up, it is definitely adhering to adult education principles. It is something that I will be able to verify and be able to share with others to begin to build the strength of the credential. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, I see question from Lourdes. Did you want to ask it by unmuting or you want me to ask it out loud? All right, I'll go ahead. Lourdes, I'll ask. So Lourdes asks, can a developer be for single family homes? Absolutely. You get when in module 0, okay, you're going to pick your project. Is it a single family home that already exists and you're rehabbing it? Is it a a duplex? Are you developing from land to an actual certificate of occupancy for a building that never existed on that land before? Are you tearing something down and rebuilding something new? That's going to be up to you what type of project you want to build your deal book based on. If it's a now, let me make sure that I make clear what we are not talking about building and holding properties, right? Developers don't tend to hold properties beyond stabilizing them and then selling them. So like even if you were building an entire subdivision, at a point, the developer really is stabilizing so that they can pass it to a property management company that wants to buy because that's what they do is manage properties for decades. Developers don't tend to do that. So that we won't be covering too much about actually holding properties because we are looking at the math for building, allowing others to occupy, and how much money you can make on the end of that. But it can be single family homes, multifamily, commercial property, mixed use, all of those good things. Okay.
Hi, good evening. I don't know if you
Hi.
can hear me. Hi.
Yes.
So basically, would this be more like you fix the house and you sell it? It'll be ready to be sold if we do a single home.
Yes. So that's what the you would be working on the numbers for a project like that. The numbers, the zoning, how to make sure that everything is done correctly with you as the developer.
And I guess the course will teach us how to get the financing and where to get the funds, right?
Yes, yes, there's a whole module on financing and what are the options, ways that you can stack financing with grant programs. If you adhere to certain tenets, if you need to get loans, we'll also talk about crowdfunding because that is really growing in real estate as well. So yes, there's a whole module on that as well.
How about
Thank you.
legal advice? legal advice in
So
terms, yeah.
throughout the process, I am not an attorney. Let me make that very clear. And so through legality is interwoven throughout the entire project because it is a consideration. But as you'll be able to see it when we talk about who is the team that you need to assemble, a real estate attorney is definitely one of those members of the team. You're going to have to consult an attorney at some point. Not that you have to keep them all the time and be paying these exorbitant um, uh, retainer fees or anything like that, but a legal an attorney, not just somebody giving legal advice, is definitely something that you have to have, someone that you have to have on your team where you call them, maybe they take a look at contracts, etc. So you will learn that as well, but you will not be getting legal advice. As part of discussion boards, you can ask questions and people can perhaps share tidbits, but please don't take anybody's legal advice except a licensed attorney. You can get legal information, not advice.
Right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Naomi, did you want to ask your question out loud or would you like me to ask?
Well, I just wanted to know what kind of projects we should expect this course to teach us. Is it like more commercial, residential, mixed use? Are we learning how to acquire land as well?
You're
Um,
gonna, we will touch on all the different types, but
mhm.
again, it's a project-based course. And so in module 0, the first week, you decide which type of project you want to focus on for your individual project. So if you're looking at commercial, then you're going to pick an actual site in Miami-Dade County, in Broward, wherever you're looking to pick a site, you got to pick an actual site because we're going to work with real numbers. We're not going to be making anything up. We're going to work with real numbers. You're going to learn how to research parcels of land, research a property, etc. And you're going to build your whole deal book based on what you have selected. So there might be a piece of land that you've already seen in your neighborhood. Maybe there's a house that you've seen has been vacant for a couple of years, and we're going to you can take that address and work through that as if it's a project that you'd like to do. So it's up to you, but you will learn the basics of all of the different types for sure. But this is project based on an actual property or parcel of land that you identify and that is real and it is in the county database. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. I don't see any other questions in the chat. Any more questions?
I have one more.
Yes.
The fee that you mentioned, is there anything additional to that? Is there any other fees additional to complete the 8
No.
weeks?
No fees. So it's the $199, $199 one-time fee. Now, if you need to break that down into payments, I don't have a direct payment plan, but I can suggest that perhaps you can use Klarna. They have a virtual card that you can, and then you can break it down. Affirm allows quad pay, etc. But there are no additional fees from this end because this, again, this is the type of information that I had to pay thousands of dollars to get. And but my passion and purpose is to get 100 people as part of, again, this community and movement. Also, what you'll be able to see later this week, once enrollment opens, is that there is actually a button where you can, someone could go on and gift a registration. So if you have somebody that's saying, "Hey, I want to give you a birthday gift," you can tell them to go on and gift it to you. But there are no other fees. Now, I will say, when we do our fellowship, the graduation will be taken care of. But say, for instance, when we go to the on-site tour, If you wanted to, I'm going to always make sure that there is an opportunity to maybe go and have a meal together after. That would be everyone paying their own tab, but there will be no fee to do the site tour. So little things like that may cost you, but graduation is free. The Zoom that comes in the midst of the program with the expert is only open to people that are enrolled, but that is free. Everything's included after the 199. This is more of a movement than a way to generate funds
Thank you.
at this point.
And when
Yes.
did you say the course is going to start?
Next Sunday. So enrollment will begin towards the end of the week, and then we'll kick off again next Sunday.
When you say next Sunday, do you mean the 9th or the 16th?
The 9th. Okay. Dr. Cummings, and she has her married name there, but her maiden name is Igbinova, which should tell you something about Dr. Cummings, that she is my sister. And I want to thank her publicly because she truly supported me last year when I was driving back and forth and taking the train those 16 weeks. Many of those weeks, she drove me up to Orlando, and she would drive there and I would drive back, and she took her time out to support me. And she said, "Sis, anything you need, I want to support you." So I love you. I thank you. Thank you, Dr. Igbinova Cummings. But yes, you can use that deal book. It's going to be a PDF with blanks, and you will be able to use the information that you learned for any project. You could probably just print out another blank and then use it for an additional project. But you'll use it during this program to work through a deal, to be able to ask all the questions about the deal, and really this will be your hands-on practice for what it really takes to get a project from day one to completion as a developer. Any other questions?
Will the classes be recorded? Because I usually work on Sundays, so if I can't catch it on Sunday, would I be able to rewatch?
Yes. So let me explain. That's a good question. So the classes, the only thing that's going to be on let me see how to word this, where you would need to watch the recording or be there at a specific time if you want to be live, are the in-person things. In between, it's on demand. So the next week's kickoff will be recorded and you'll be able to go back and watch it. But in between, when you're working through the modules, all of that is online and on demand. It's not where everyone will be working at their pace through the information each week. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
One more though. Is there a schedule with the in-person meetups?
I have not set the in-person yet because what I want to do is be flexible. It's going to with each cohort, it will depend on the people in the cohort. So say, for instance, like you just said, I usually work on Sundays. If we find that only 2 people can make it on to a Sunday event, then I wouldn't want to schedule something on a Sunday. So we'll do surveys and polls to see what day works best for events, and we'll make sure that that is when most people can attend. And certainly the graduation would want that to be where everyone can attend, but want to make sure that hopefully every event is something that everyone can make it to. I see a project, not a project, I see a question. Are there opportunities for project coaching? Yes. So throughout this actual process, you'll be getting feedback. You'll have, there will be opportunity to set a one-on-one Zoom if you have questions. And then after the program, we can talk more about, after the after you have completed what comes next, you will have the opportunity to join phase 2 of We Raise the Roof, which is now the community of co-developers, where we will continue to work through your actual projects, or maybe you take the project that you worked on through the class to fruition. You're looking for new projects, etc.
Dr. A, one more question. I'm sorry. Has
Yes.
this uh has this cohort been taught anywhere else? Has this been, do you know
No, this
any?
this particular program I have created, but I created it based on what I learned from the Urban Land Institute. I created it based on my experiences with real estate investing and the things that were horrible and the things that were good. My experience with gurus and what was horrible and what was good. And so this is really brand new. The what I can just tell you again is that I am an educator first. I make sure that lessons are organized in such a way that it is understandable, and that anyone that I'm responsible for their learning, I ensure, just like I did when I was a teacher and how I do currently as a trainer, ensuring that you are able to not only just regurgitate facts, but that you know how to apply knowledge. And that's why it's a project based course and not just um, a talking head on the screen just telling you information. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, I don't see any other questions. So, what's going to happen next? I am going to send you a follow-up later this week that's going to have the enrollment link. If you are interested, give the recording a chance to marinate on YouTube. I'm going to add it to YouTube. I will ensure that you have the link to be able to enroll. You can ask me any questions in between now and then at hello@weraisetheroof.com, or at my phone number, call or text. Text is better. I'll be honest with you, because I do move around a lot during the day and it's harder for me to actually make a phone call back than to send a text reply. But if you tell me that you really need me to call you back, then just let me know that. And then please follow We Raise the Roof on Instagram, brand new page. And also, we are on LinkedIn and going to be growing. Every 8 weeks, I plan on doing a kickoff in with a new group of students in a new city, because that is how I'm rolling. I want to ensure that 100 people in the next 12 months have the tools that it takes to be a developer. No gatekeeping, no good old boys club anymore, where only certain people get to be the developers. There are a lot of people in construction that have to take orders from the developer, but the developer is truly the innovator and the person behind the idea of what they want to see in a neighborhood. I see a question here. When does phase 2 start? So phase 2, the community, that's your additional choice, and where we will talk more about actual co-investing and doing projects together. That will start after the initial first 8 weeks. So it'll be rolling, where people that come out of the We Raise the Roof phase 1 can have the opportunity, if they like, to join phase 2, and we'll just continue growing from there. Does that answer your question? That was Marcy.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right. If there are no other questions tonight, I am quite excited. When I send you the follow-up email, feel free to share with anyone that you may think would be interested. I'm going to share a YouTube video link with you. And I am also going to share that with everyone who signed up. We had about 26 registrants, but many of them were not going to be able to make it tonight. So I said I would share the recap link with anyone that registered, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. Thank you so much for attending in person tonight. And again, please feel free to reach out to me with any other additional questions that you may have. Take a screenshot. That's my direct phone number. That is the email for hello, for hello, for we raise the roof. And please follow on Instagram. Please do that because, of course, as that IG page grows, I'm going to be just sharing tidbits there too, and not just information about enrolling in the class. Go ahead, Miss Bird, one of my great colleagues in Miami-Dade County. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, you in this moment, you are giving me Harriet Tubman, and you
Yes.
are doing. That's who inspires me, and I just wanted to say I recognize you as a lady of legacy. There's so many women who are doing legacy type work and building beyond just their family. So I wanted to say thank you for that, and congratulations to everyone on who got a chance to hear this information. I'm honored, and I look forward to whatever the this journey is all about. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's been a long time coming and it's taken a lot of hard work because, of course, this is not the only thing that I do. If you know me around the community, I'm involved in lots of things. I only put a few of those logos on there, but involved in lots of ways around the community. But I kept being called back to this. And so I do believe that there is a higher purpose for it because if there wasn't, then I wouldn't be called back to it over and over again. So this is truly a culmination of a labor of love, and I hope that all of you can feel that. And I hope that as you participate, we really do become a cohesive group of people who really are making again a movement and not just looking to profit. Now, we want to profit. Don't get me wrong, we want to profit because you can't really build legacy without some kind of money involved. The money isn't a bad thing. Love of money is a bad thing, but money isn't a bad thing. But it is really about community and development without displacement and being able to make money without running over and injuring others in the process. So thank you so much. All righty. Well, thank you, everyone. And again, reach out if you need to, take a screenshot, and please feel free to ask me any questions that you need to. But in the meantime, I am going to reach out. I'm going to share the recap with you, and then you're going to receive the link to enroll later this week if you so choose to. So, and again, remember, there's even where someone can gift you a registration. So, thank you again, and I will see you hopefully soon and see you online. Even just follow on IG, even if you're still contemplating. Thank you and have a great, great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.